Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Devil May Cry 3. Today we're going to get a little deeper into the game, fight the first boss, and enter the Devil's Tower starting with Mission 3.
I come. Well, doesn't it excite you? The Negru has revived. The Great One, who once ruled this earth as the medium between the human world and the demon world. Isn't it a magnificent view? The greatest minds of their time, those who revered evil, constructed this glorious edifice. Now, after 2 millenniums of confinement, it can at last fulfill the purpose for which it was intended.
That's none of my concern. Did he have it?
Of course. He's taking good care of it. After all, it is the only memento left from the mother you both lost.
But he has no idea of its true power.
Found it.
I really like the way the 3 is formed with the Burning Hell Pride falling backwards to complete it. We're going to start off today changing styles to Swordmaster this time, which gives us Prop Shredder, which is a ground-based juggle, and it can also act as a launcher for some enemies, and Aerial Raid, which is a standard air combo. 66 Slum Avenue. These new enemies are Enigmas, they're archers, so they naturally provide a little bit of cover in the environment here. I'm going to deal with the explosive barrels first, and then take out these Enigmas up top. The reason I shoot the explosive barrels before I come up here is just because the lock-on isn't as sophisticated as, say, Bayonetta's, so you have to kind of babysit it a little bit more. It can get caught up on environmental hazards like the barrels. It's better than Devil May Cry 2's lock-on, but it's still kind of finicky to work with. Nope. Just gonna let that wrath hang out in the background. Eventually, if you don't shoot them for long enough, they'll just lurch forward and eventually blow themselves up. Didn't get a chance to do that, though. The rats can be kind of annoying because the only way to blow them up is by shooting them, or letting them explode on their own. So Omega13 last episode asked if this game kept up the running gag of Dante having a new voice actor again, and yeah, actually he does. In Devil May Cry, he was voiced by Drew Coombs. In Devil May Cry 2, he was voiced by Matt Kandinsky, I think his name was. Was it Kandinsky or Kaminsky? Kaminsky, that's the one. Matt Kaminsky. And in Devil May Cry 3, he's voiced by Ruben Langdon. I'll get back to that thought in just a second. That's a stinger jump that returns from DMC1. We're gonna hit this jukebox and see what happens. Hey, if you hit the jukebox, it starts to play the battle theme from the first Devil May Cry. So, starting with Devil May Cry 3, Ruben Langdon reprised his role 5 times as Dante. He's Dante in Devil May Cry 3. Hey, we got the shotties. One of the most recurring guns. He's Dante in Devil May Cry 3, DMC 4, Marvel 3, and the DMC anime. And Tim Phillips took on the role for DMC Devil May Cry. Woo! Some more environmental stuff we can do, the pole dance. There is a different running gag that does continue in Devil May Cry 3. That's a little more intentional than the voice actor changeover. Dante being impaled. In the earlier cutscene in chapter or mission 1, he's impaled by the prides. Ah, hell. These guys teleport around. They're a little bit more beefy than the lusts. I can't remember if these are sloths or not. I think sloths are something different. The 7 Hell Army demons can get mixed up quite a bit. Wrath and Lust. Or no, fuck, no. That's not Lust, that's Pride. I think Lusts are the slightly beefier ones, the orange ones. Like I said, they're all kind of just different variations, kind of color swaps of your standard, bog standard enemies here. There we go, we're starting to get a good rhythm going with these. Ah, whipped a high time. Yep. Yeah, that's what I mean with the lock-on being a little bit finicky. You get used to it, though. I'm more willing to forgive it here because it's just slightly improved, but also because there's so much more variety in the combat. Just real quick, we'll wall hike up here to get that green orb and get a little bit of health back, because I did take a couple of hits. And we got a couple of things to do before we get to the top of that tower. We have a Gatekeeper to deal with, but before we even get there, this is a combat Adjudicator. It will challenge you to perform more and more demanding, stylish combos, and if you reach certain rankings, you will get a blue Orb Fragment. And a blue Orb Fragment, once you collect 4 of them, you'll get a health upgrade. Heart pieces, basically. And there's another blue Orb Fragment up here. There's 3 in total you can get in this mission. And the last one is right through this door, which leads to the first secret mission of the game. We're not going to be doing all the secret missions, and if I didn't already say this, I'm not going to be 100%ing the game, but I am going to be showing off all of the cool stuff. So this first secret mission is just to kill all of the enemies within the time limit. I'm really glad this returned from Devil May Cry 1. I was not super happy with the way they handled this in DMC 2. Not very happy with the way they handled a lot of things, but this is not Devil May Cry 2, so we're not going to harp on that too much. So for the difficulty we're playing on, which is Special Edition Normal, which would be the normal edition of the game's easy, I think. These enemies don't have too much health. Ah, shit, from off screen. I don't think it's until, like, DMC 4 or maybe Bayonetta that they kind of cut back on the off-screen attacks a little bit. That they started specifically programming around that constraint. And we get our 3rd blue Orb Fragment. And over here, before we get to that big glowing doorway, there is a returning Divine statue where we can change our styles. We can purchase a couple of items like a full blue orb for a health upgrade. We can purchase new actions, but I don't have enough red orbs for that. And we're going to be going with Royal Guard for the upcoming boss fight. The Ice Guardian's Chamber.
mortal. The likes of you are forbidden in this land. You are powerless, are not worthy to set foot here.
Wow, I've never seen a talking mud before. You know, in a dog show, you'd definitely take first place.
You are mere human, make a mockery of me?
Easy, Fido. How about I take you out for a walk? Come on, puppy. Let's go.
You'll regret this, you worm!
It's showtime. Come on.
Devil May Cry 3 is really where you get the wisecracking, tongue-in-cheek Dante that everyone is so familiar with. It's really, like, part of what makes Devil May Cry 3 one of the more iconic ones. So it's fitting that the first boss of DMC3 is Cerberus, because this boss, for new players, is a bit of a gatekeeper. The game up to this point is pretty easy. This first boss, though, is where new players are going to have a lot of trouble. First off... Ooh, hey. Just barely dodged that. First off, you have to break his ice armor in order to do any damage to him. He has 3 heads that you can damage and 2 legs. The legs don't take all that much damage, but if you hit his legs enough, he will eventually collapse and you get a lot of time to just wail on the heads. Other than that, once he goes into this enrage phase here, he starts getting a lot more aggressive. And he can deal a lot of damage at a time. Also, once he's enraged, he starts regenerating his ice armor more frequently. So your opportunities to damage him become fewer and further between. Not only because he's attacking more often, so you have to spend more time on the defense, but also because he's just armored up more. I mistimed that really bad. My Royal Guard pick here, I'm super rusty with the style, so the Royal Guard style not working out the way I had hoped. You could do some really, really nasty stuff to him with Royal Guard, with just a couple of just guards and a couple of releases. Just 2 heads down. Yeah, I'm being too tentative. Yep. And I'm misreading his attacks a little bit, which, ooh, yeesh, this is an ugly fight. No problem though. This should be about it. Nope. Normally those paw swipes, those are my favorite attacks to try to just guard.
You are not human, are you?
Who knows? I'm not even sure myself.
Regardless, you have proved your strength. I acknowledge your ability. Take my soul and go forth. You have my blessing.
Too easy.
Oh yeah, we get a weapon from him. It's a 3-part nunchuck, basically. It's sick. It's Cerberus. So we're gonna trigger the cutscene at the end of the mission and let that rock. And that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Are you going to the party? What's the hurry? Didn't you get an invitation? better and better.